Criticizing Islam costs a life. Kurdish artist gunned down. Tragedy struck in the Kurdish region of Iraq as the life of Khwanas Virya, a vibrant Kurdish artist, was brutally cut short in his own town of Chamchamal. The reason? Allegations of criticizing Islam and being an atheist. In a chilling Facebook post, the suspected murderer declared, quote, "I'll not allow anyone to vilify my prophet. I'll not." The shocking incident sent shockwaves across the Kurdish social media, with furious netizens pointing fingers at Islamist parties and Salafists for fueling the hatred that led to Vira's untimely demise. Binar Mustafa, a passionate Iraqi activist, mourned the loss of the talented soul, warning of the growing grip of religious conservatism in Iraqi Kurdistan. In the As the community reels from the loss, urgent action is needed to combat the rising tide of intolerance and violence that threatens the region. So this is really tragic. So Khwanas was, and if I'm mispronouncing his name, I apologize. I don't really know how to pronounce Kurdish words. Um, was a 22-year-old man. He was an artist, he was an actor, he, I believe, was also a musician, and he was an open atheist. And I guess word spread about this, and he was murdered. He was murdered in cold blood for being an atheist and for expressing some of his criticisms of Islam. And man, in the show notes, Armin, I actually have I have an image and a video that I wanted to show. Um, and I was going through his social media. I found his YouTube channel, and it just made me so sad. Like, there was this young guy who was very talented. He'd received awards for his acting and his artistic ability and contributions. It was very clear in his social media presence that he really loved Kurdistan. He was proud of his Kurdish identity. He was proud of Kurdish liberation. And he was very critical of, just toxic influences on his culture. And I think he was really brave. Like, if you pull up the first image that I put in the show notes, um, I found a photo of him, like, openly just declaring himself an atheist on social media. And I mean, that's like not a small thing when you're living in a place like Iraqi Kurdistan. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read that Iraqi Kurdistan has the highest percentage of mosques, like, per capita in Iraq. And it's so obviously there's a very strong grip of the religion and ideology in that region. Kurds, I believe, tend to be Sunnis, and also more traditional, in compare well, at least in Iran. I know kind of like a little bit this distinction. I don't know exactly what it's like in Iraq. Um, uh, and it just, I cried yesterday. I I cried thinking about this young man, um, who was really talented and just wanted to express his opinions, and he was murdered for it. And it just, I don't know, it hits close to home because his story is, like, not that different from the story of a lot of people I love, you know? And to think that he was just murdered for his criticisms, his thoughts, um, it hurts me so much. And, like, this is exactly why people need to never curtail the way in which they criticize, never curtail the way in which they express themselves, even if that includes desecration, even if that includes blasphemy, right? because people die for this. People are killed for much, much less. Juanes was killed for much, much less than actually desecrating the Quran. Right? We lost one of our community, an atheist, an ex-Muslim, was murdered again for much, much less than tearing up a few pieces of paper from a book. And it's situations like this that reiterate to me once again why it's so important, why we keep fighting, why we raise awareness, why we talk about issues that especially impact ex-Muslims, why we talk about issues that impact free expression, freedom of belief, because people die for this every day. Armin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, people pointed out that in the Kurdish part of Iraq, it's a lot more secular and less religious. So this is when you say that it's becoming in the Kurdish part, like compared to the rest of Iraq. So this is a bad trend apparently that people are noticing that is happening in the Kurdish part of Iraq, which is sad because that is the part of Iraq that people have a lot of hope for that could be more progressive compared to the rest. So if that trend is reversing, that's really, really alarming. I did get the picture. Is this the picture that you were referring to? That he,
Yes.
this is what he posted.
Yeah.
So he used the "Save Us in Iraq," and he had the hashtag. He used hashtag atheist. So that's pretty bold. To he posted this while he's still in Iraq. That's pretty bold.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Pretty
picture of his
crazy.
face, and he put two of the atheist symbols on top of his own face. I mean, hashtag stop
Yeah,
terrorism, hashtag atheist, save us in Iraq.
that's okay. Yeah, that is doing that while you're in Iraq. Even if it's the Kurdistan part of Iraq, is pretty. And you know the situation in Iraq might get a lot worse in the near future, given how much control the Islamic Republic is managing to even after the elections when people of Iraq voted how much they want to be free from the grip of the Islamic Republic of Iran, that that is completely being thrown away, completely being ignored, given that how the um, military units, the Hashtag units, they have because they have the guns. They it's basically what they say, right? It comes down to what they want. So basically, the Islamic regime of Iran is managing to destroy not one country but also some of its neighbors. It already did that with Lebanon. Now it's going to do that with Iraq as well.
Mm.
So and they are the ones that these terrorist groups that he's talking about, they are being funded by the Islamic regime in Iran, which is very sad. I don't know exactly which group is responsible for this though. I do want to address some of the comments. Ehsan was saying, show please his YouTube channel.
That's the second
Yeah,
video that I include in the show notes.
okay, I'll get that, but I also want to address this. I don't like this comment at all. Um, Anastasia, is that Anastasia?
Yes,
I
that
don't
is
know
how you.
how to. Okay, so he or she is saying it's really disgusting how Arabs treat Kurds. Absolutely disgusting. This is what you're saying is disgusting. The way that you're generalizing Arabs altogether. That's like this is racist. This is absolutely racist. We don't want to. Arabs themselves are victims of Islam and this kind of ideology and terrorism. So let's not use events like these to put one ethnic group against another. This is very destructive. This is disgusting behavior. I don't like that at all. But let me get the. Do
I
you agree
agree.
with that, or do you think? Yeah, you do. Okay.
I completely agree with you.
So okay, you got. Oh, this is the YouTube channel.
Yeah, this is just his YouTube channel. I mean, we don't have in this video, I can't really tell what he was speaking. I mean, because Kurdish uses some words that I know in Persian, I thought maybe he was talking about Islamic and the Islamic criticism in this video, but I couldn't completely tell. If anyone speaks Kurdish, you can let me know. But there was a lot of stuff on this channel. Yeah. And I thought it'd be maybe nice to just see like a video of him talking, even if we don't use the audio.
إسلامي سرسر وسرچاو مسيحي سرسر وسرچاو بأعيني سرچاو بەڵام هیچ تاوانێک دایی ئەوە نییە تۆ ڕۆح لە مرۆڤێک بسەنیتەوە بیکوژی.
So I don't understand what he's saying exactly, but I know he's talking about Christianity and Islam. I know that much. If you guys want to go check out his channel, I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is,
I think it's with a K.
Yeah, so you can see it on the page.
But it's spelled XWANASWRYAGLEE.
Okay, so look at this idiot. I'm going to ban this motherfucker here because this guy is a racist, and apparently he's not going to learn that we don't tolerate that here. So that guy that I just mentioned, sometimes we give people warnings about their racism and discussing attitudes here, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's right, I shouldn't do that. But once I see somebody is going to insist on their disgusting behavior, I'm going to ban them from this page. I also want to give out a warning to Oxymoron, because this is completely dishonest. This is dishonest. Oxymoron is saying, well, you do generalize and demonize groups a lot. We have been very careful. Even if we don't mean it and we say something that might come off as generalization, we correct each other. The live chat corrects us. We are very, very careful here not to generalize and not talk to, even when I'm not even going to mention, but sometimes when even the worst cases that some people might tend to give excuses. Well, here you were angry, it's fine. We don't use those excuses here at all. Like we, even the people that come after us, even at the time that we're talking about the level of discussing behavior that is being directed at us, we always try to remind people that, remember, these people that are doing this to us, to me and Susanna and the people in our family and people in our lives, we remind our audience that this doesn't represent that entire community. So we go out of our way to make sure that we don't generalize. So this is so dishonest. How dare you? Fuck off with this accusation.
It's ironic coming from the person that is the most racist that we continue to somehow still tolerate in the community, who openly says that he's a racist. So that's hilarious.
Yes, exactly. The person, unbelievable.
And thinks that that's like fine. He's like, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, the person that actually says that racism is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
He's accusing us of generalizing people. Again, you're on thin ice here, because the only reason why you weren't banned after that is because you showed some tendencies to maybe consider that you're wrong, but you are on thin ice.
Should we go to the next story?
Yes. Wait, did we highlight? Yes, everything. Cool.
Also, apparently Tesla can also understand Kurdish.
Tesla
June, what the? Who are you? He's a man, international man of mystery.
Okay. Thank you, Sheikha. Thank you. Because Sheikha sometimes disagrees with me, but unless she's telling me that, because I do worry sometimes, because sometimes, like, do we generalize here? Where we do we spread hate? And we are go out of our way to be careful. So I appreciate you guys noticing this, because I do care about that.